the review you all been waiting for, the Edelrid Ohmega. When we first put out the video of the Ohmega, it was met with a lot of doubts, but even more curious people fired up the comments, and today I'm here to clear up some of that noise, but also just to tell you that I've been using it for the past 8 to 9 months, and it's always been in my sport climbing backpack, so it kind of became an essential part of my kit. But let's just step back and I'm gonna tell you what it is and what it actually does. So what is it exactly? I mean, it's not a belay device, it's not meant to be used on its own. Edelrid calls it a belay assistant. It's a device designed to help balance out weight differences between climbing partners. In short, it makes belaying heavier climbers easier and safer. It offers 3 adjustable braking levels, reducing force by the equivalent of 10, 20, and 30 kilos. I think that the confusion came mostly from the fact that Edelrid made a lot of promises with this device. It should be lightweight and easy to use, it's suitable for everyone, not just beginners or pros. It works for climbing partners with or without a big weight difference. Yeah, I have notes on that. It can be used on multi-pitch scenarios, and it's safe to fall on, even at the first quick draw. At first, even I was a bit unsure. Not how to use it, that's pretty straightforward. When the heavier climber leads, they clip it to the first bolt, let the rope run through it, and that's it. If they fall, it helps prevent me getting slammed into the wall. My hesitation came from using the Ohm, and I only used it a bit because it was heavy, cumbersome, and honestly, it wasn't that sorry. Basically, Edelrid knew that the Ohm had a lot of issues and went like, okay, let's fix it and make the Ohmega. And I think they managed. They managed to create something really interesting and something that I really have been using constantly for the past 9 months. So let's take it climbing and I'll tell you what I think about it. I picked up this Edelrid Ohmega at the Edelrid factory in Germany when we went back in November. And I actually assembled this one under supervision, but I've had this for the past 9 months, which means that I climb about 3 to 4 times a week, like on a rope. But I've never used it, as in I've belayed people that clipped it onto the first bolt, but I never climbed with somebody heavier than I was. So after about 800 uses, this is what it looks like. It's a bit scratched. I mean, the plastic bits obviously are gonna get a bit scratched on the rock, but overall, I've got only a little, I guess a little scratch also on the Dynema bit, but it's a pretty small but solid piece of gear. I'm just gonna show you how it works. This is how it opens up. A little pinchy lever, just like on the pinch. So if you're used to that belay device, getting used to this one will take you no time. If it's the first time that it's in your hand, it's easy, but it takes a bit of practice to open it quickly. But my climbing partners just prefer to have it on the harness. Clip it to the first bolt, have it open, and pass the rope through it. This is honestly the better option. Having a loop hanging around is just a bit annoying, and you could trip on it. Right, now the Ohmega is on the wall, and the climber just climbs as normal. The pulley will make sure to feed the rope smoothly, and the cam engages only when the climber falls or wants a good take. When it pinches the rope, both parts are super smooth and it doesn't bite into the rope. I'm clearly a light climber. I weigh 45 kilos. My partner, who I mostly climb with, he's 70 kilos. So you can tell there's quite a big weight difference. But I haven't used it just with him. I've also given it to some friends with equally a big weight difference or bigger. So, as I said, this is a collective review, a collective effort. And in all of this, there have been some real skeptics because as a heavier climber, yeah, I understand you like a soft catch. You know what? Me too. But you're probably also used to it. If you're used to belaying a heavier climber, you know that they're always gonna get a soft catch, and good for them. This is gonna sound so silly, but it's true. It's annoying to belay if they're way heavier than you, because if they're trying a project and they're pulling up and down on the same spot, like it's a physical workout for the belayer as well. And I really noticed that if you add in the Ohmega into the system, it makes your life better as a lighter climber. Now, Edelrid claims that this is useful also in the flip situation of a lighter climber climbing in a heavier belayer. But honestly, I've tried it. I thought it was a bit useless for me. I usually climb with this. It's another Edelrid carabiner, is the Axiom, and it just has an integrated pulley. I put this on the first bolt, and I know that when I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna get a soft catch no matter what. Because yeah, it is trickier to belay lighter people than heavier people. I know that Edelrid says the Ohmega, it's also for lighter people, for lead belaying, but honestly, personally, I have this in my kit, so I've been using this. So I'm saying that this is part of my kit. I always carry it around with me because I'm always climbing with heavier partners. And you already might have the Ohm or the Ohm 2 in your kit, but it is different. Like essentially, it's way better than the Ohm. The Ohm adds on 25 kilos on the lighter person, but it also kind of like just cuts the system. And that's one of the major things that my partner told me, is that he doesn't feel the difference of using the Ohmega, but he does feel the difference when we're using the Ohm because of that hard catch. One of the standout features of the Ohmega is that you can shift the weight just with pulling and pushing the sling. Right now, I've got it on 10 kilos, and actually, even if I've belayed people that are 30 kilos more than I am, I've always kept it on 10 kilos. I dabbled a bit with the 30 kilos one, and I just figured out that then you go back into the problems of the Ohm. At 30 kilos, you're adding so much more friction into the system. It's annoying for a climber to then pull up the rope, even though there's a pulley in it. So my recommendation is actually to try it out in all the 3 different levels, in all the 3 settings. I'm keeping it on 10 kilos because I know it's not annoying for my climbing partner who's climbing, and it helps me give a good catch. But I'm gonna say that this weight shifting really matters if the crux of the route is on the first or second bolt. Then is when I would shift the weight to 30 kilos, because I know that I'm gonna be taking a lot on that first bolt. At least the climber is not just on the pulley, and then it really makes a difference because you want it to engage quite quickly, since, you know, the first bolt is what, 3-5 meters off the ground. So real handy that you can actually shift the weight on it. Edelrid recommends it to everybody, beginners and pros and everybody in between. And yeah, why not? I mean, if you've got a big weight difference between the two of you, this comes in really handy. And also for the skeptics out there, for the heavier climbers that are used to a nice soft catch, or you want to like pull rope quickly when you're like trying to send a project on the 10 kilo setting, you're gonna be fine. I mean, there's no excuses not to use it if there's a big weight difference between the two people. One of the creators / inventors at Edelrid reassured me that this is also ideal to use in a multi-pitch. It's a different scenario than going sport climbing at the gym or outdoors. So whenever a route starts to traverse, I would be careful if you have it on like a higher setting, because then it can get even more grabbier. Because basically if there's a traverse involved, you're just adding more friction to the system. Overall, I know that my review is super positive, and it's not just because we went to the Edelrid factory, saw how it was put together. I mean, I put together this one. It's not because of that. It's because I've used it every single time I've used a single rope. Basically, since November, I noticed the times where I didn't have it. I'm going to the gym later and I know I'm gonna use it with my friend. I don't really give the option not to use it anymore, especially when climbing outdoors. If there's only one single rope involved, I'll give it to my climbing partner if they're lead climbing and just tell them to use it, because I feel safer, it helps me belay better, and you know what? It's nice not to get slammed into the wall. And also, lowering a person can be quite annoying and jittery, And this just helps with all of that. I haven't felt the necessity to use it with somebody who's like, yeah, 55, 60 kilos, but anything above that, it's useful. At first, it sounded like a miracle device. And at first, I wasn't sure if it was truly necessary. But the Ohmega has proven to be something I really rely on. It's always in my backpack. At 45 kilos, I climb with partners who are often 25 or more heavier than me. So having a tool that helps balance out that without disrupting the climbing is genuinely useful. The 3 adjustable braking levels are intuitive and smooth, and the integrated pulley means less rope drag and much more a natural belay experience, especially compared to the Ohm. That said, yeah, it's not perfect, but once you know how to adjust it, how to use it, it's really manageable. And the best part, it doesn't get in the way. It just works. And that's what I want out of the gear I use all the time. Right now we have it on the Epic TV shop, so pick it up, try it out, let me know what you think. If you've got any other questions before buying it, I understand it's a bit of an investment, so put them in the comments below. I'm more than happy to reply. I'm still using it, I'll keep on using it, so maybe I'll notice other things over the years and I'll let you know. I know there's some other brands working on something similar, so maybe a comparison is gonna come out in the future. For all of that, just click subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.